on. Hello, I'm going to introduce you today to the third course on how to establish a cooperative. We saw previously, that is in the two other courses, the definition of a cooperative, and we also saw the 7 principles on which a cooperative is based, and everything is relevant to cooperatives in the United States of America. Well, today we're going to place the focus on another element which is relevant to cooperative in the United States of America again, but the focus will be placed on it will be placed on the identification of the needs of customers before the two persons who volunteer to establish a cooperative should start doing it. Well, as you see here, we use the same references that we used previously in order to enlighten you about this subject. So, we already have said here that it's important to clearly identify why a co-op would be a good idea for your group. So, remember that your group, right, the relevance here is to the people who share the same neighborhood with you. We talked about cooperatives being locally established. For example, people at Hisalam in Agadir, Morocco, might need to establish a cooperative. So they would do it for people living there, and two persons volunteer to establish it and to invite other volunteers to pay their fees in order to build an important capital that would be of importance to the community, economically speaking. So, what should the two persons who volunteer to establish a cooperative at a particular geographical zone, like Hisalam, Agadir, Morocco, for example, should do? They should make a research in order to identify the needs of community members at this particular geographical zone. So the focus should be placed, as you see it here, on the first element, which is, I'm going to explain what it is after reading it. Access to a unique or specialized product line is restricted. So when the two individuals intending to establish a cooperative want to make a research, they will have to focus on this need first. That is it a matter of access to a unique or specialized product line that is prohibited for people at Hisalam, or which people at Hisalam, that is, a particular district, cannot use in order to be able to consume a particular product or to use a particular service, which encourages those two individuals volunteering to establish a cooperative to consider in order to encourage community members to join them and to pay their fee. Now, the second element that should be considered by the two individuals who might consider establishing a cooperative at their neighborhood. Private owns, you read with me here what is written on the screen before I explain it. Privately owned or chain food stores are closing. Let us assume that at Salam, which is a geographical zone, a district, some people call it also an authority, cannot have access to a particular product because food store or food stores, that is supermarket, have closed. So they might feel frustrated, and in order to overcome this frustration, the two individuals could think about establishing a cooperative. And this cooperative would be local, that is, it would be established in the neighborhood where they are themselves, and this would help them to overcome feeling frustrated. So the third element that the two individuals, that is the two volunteers, should consider is the following. I'll read it again. A locally owned store could better serve consumer needs than a chain store. Now, you have two types of stores that could meet the needs of people. First one is local. So it's placed within the geographical zone where they live. And another store or a group of stores, chain stores, could be established in town that is far from the geographical zone where the individual lives. So in this case, here the author believes that a locally owned store, that is a store, supermarket, that members living in a particular geographical zone and which they could own together, that is, they could use every day together, could better serve their needs than a far away store. Because if the store, that is the supermarket, is far away, they might need to travel, to commute, in order to be able to buy the things that they might need. And another reason that deserves being searched, as it is linked to responding to the needs of community members, is the following. We read it together. Existing stores offer fewer choices, high prices, or poor service. So the two volunteering persons, considering establishing a cooperative, might believe that prices, the prices imposed on goods or on products sold in a particular place might be too high for them to afford, or the products or services could be of poor quality. So this needs being probed because these elements might solve problems at the level of the community, and so members living at Salam community, for example, might be encouraged to join the two persons who volunteer to establish a cooperative. And like that, they will manage to make a lot of money, to build a lot of capital that would make their community better than any other community in the same city or in the same country. Now, this is another element, a locally owned store would help keep money within the community. So this means that it would be better for community members to establish their own store, that is supermarket, and it is in this case a cooperative, because like this, they will be able to make a lot of money